on October 2nd, 2018. I got a review on my podcast. It said, great content, good guy, but nowhere close to 15 minutes. Last few have been 30 minutes, 38, 19, 18, 22, 14, and 44 minutes. Well, for today's show, we're going to make sure that this is only 15 minutes. I'm using Sidekick as evidence. So with that being said, let's start the show. Welcome back to 15 Minutes with Frank. My name is Frank, and I'm glad you are here. Hey, this is episode 100. We have gone here. It took us 2 years, and I'm really grateful for everyone who has listened, commented, sent me information, people I've sent stickers to. I'm so grateful for all this. I want to really quickly tell you about how this came to be. When I graduated Bible college, I learned a lot about how to preach God's word and how to interpret scripture, but not really how to do student ministry. And so for a few years in Florida, I was a lone wolf trying to figure out how to do it by myself. And one thing I've always heard was that you should be able to process what you're doing in your youth group. And so eventually I started blogging, and then eventually I got a YouTube channel, and then eventually I stopped YouTubing. I went back to blogging. And about 2 years ago, I started a podcast called 15 Minutes with Frank. And eventually that podcast got put on the DYM Podcast Network. And 100 episodes later, I'm here. And I'm so grateful for the journey it's been, where every single week I've been able to recap and talk about what I'm doing in my youth group. And so what I want to do now is to celebrate. I have some friends I've invited, and I want them to come on up so we could talk about some of the questions that you have offered. So friends, can you come up over here so you guys can be on this show? This is Justin Knowles. We got you guys. Oh, you want to? Yeah. It was great. I came all the way to California for this, so we can be timely. Hey,
15 minutes with Frank.
Yes.
20 minutes with Frank.
45 minutes with Frank.
Yeah. So I'm here in beautiful California with Justin Knowles,
with beautiful men,
and Josh Griffin. Hey man, I'm just so glad
like
to be
the
here.
boys club.
This is like
no
the boys
kidding.
club.
I love that Just has a name tag on right now too. That's awesome. Just, I'm helping you out.
This office is like the Pentagon. It's like really hard to get in here.
It is. You're lucky you're here.
So I'm just grateful to be here. Thank you again for letting my show be on the podcast network. It's really helped me, my show. I know it's helped Justin's show, and we're just grateful to use your platform to talk about our stuff. So
Dude, you have a countdown. This is going to be 15 minutes.
I'm trying to do.
Get on it, man.
All right,
Thank you. You're welcome.
So, yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah. So I've had about over like 80 youth workers from across the country send in questions, and they're all going to get like a bunch of resources.
Hey, you got to say close to 100. Don't say around 80. Close to 100.
We've
had
It's
100.
total Josh. Someone with integrity would say, over 50 have sent in.
Oh my goodness.
There you go.
If you're above 75, that's 100.
Yeah, that's my youth group. So hey, we
that's senior pastor.
We
right
have
there.
a bunch of them asked questions, and in return for asking questions, I'm going to give them resources.
Whoa.
10 friends, well, myself and 9 other friends of mine have all donated a bunch of resources to give them. Tim and Andrew from the Morning After Ministry Show, Sam Pedersen, YM Lab, Justin Knowles, Youth Men Hacks.
Thanks, Justin.
Did you even know that? Did you know
I did send
Okay,
it.
you knew. Okay.
John Kine, he's hosting the Student Leadership Conference, studentleadershipconference.com. I'm going to be there. These two are going to be there.
StudentLeadershipConference.com.
Jeff Self, bald and beautiful man. I love that guy.
Kalamazoo youth worker, youth in Michigan.
Jeff Bachman, What It Is, What It Means with his wife. Great show.
Great podcast.
James Sabin, he was on Jersey Shore. Darren Prinkert, he has My Third Decade. And last but very not least, probably the most important, Allison Williams.
She's the
has
best.
given us some resources. So, hey, I have a couple questions. I want to throw it at you to see what you
You
think.
got 11 minutes, right?
Yeah, how come when you were on our podcast you had no emotion?
This is so
and
much
now
energy.
on your own, were you like saving the energy for this one?
Because my show is called 15 Minutes with Frank, and there's too much. There's not enough time for me to
nowhere close to 15 minutes.
and I want to do this.
Okay.
Hey, what are the top 3 things you have focused on to remain devoted in youth ministry?
Oh, that's fun. That's a good question.
What are some things you
Top
focused?
3 things we focused on to remain
The
devoted.
Father, the Son, and the Holy
Oh,
Spirit.
boom.
Next question.
Easy.
Exactly, the senior pastor. I would say devoted is 3 things to be devoted: friends, as you were talking
Community,
about that,
yeah.
when you're in the trenches with people and you're doing the ministry together, and they've become more than just volunteers, but they're actually friends. That keeps you in the game. I think purpose is another one that I've never in my life. Other people want to be senior pastors. That's great, but I've always wanted to help kids. So when you know what your purpose is, I think that's kept me in the game.
Purpose your
and
youth
then
ministry.
I married well, and I married somebody who, when I met her, she was doing children's ministry and then has done youth ministry ever since. So I would say 3 top of my head. There you go.
Yeah,
I like it.
I would say like the spiritual side, like personal devotion for me. Like Doug, I have zero desire to be a senior pastor. Don't want to. I think adults are boring. And so, when it comes to ministering to them, I think the passion, the calling towards that. And I think like the community around me that encourages me to say like, yeah, this is what you're really good at and you should keep doing this. And I think those are the top 3 for me.
That's good. Yeah. Community has been huge. If I can say community, that's what has kept me where I'm at. Just talking to friends. I love it. I'll go first on this question. What are some of your wildest yikes moments in student
do you
ministry?
have one? You have a good one?
I have a really good one. My
2.
very first summer camp, I was driving, my wife was driving behind me. We were just taking a bunch of kids to Orange Beach, Alabama from Florida.
Fun.
My wife wasn't paying attention. She rear-ended me, and both cars completely got totaled.
No.
My wife had to go to the emergency room. She had to have surgery on her pinky. She shattered her pinky. And then
Wait, when she was talking about an accident, you were the one.
she hit me. It was her fault.
I didn't know it
let's
was
make
you.
straight.
Yeah, because you weren't listening. We were at
Well,
dinner
I was
last night.
eating the most delicious meal of my life, so I couldn't listen and eat.
I heard her.
Yeah, I appreciate
I
it.
didn't know that he was the one that caused the accident. That's crazy.
And what's crazy is 2 days later, we went to the beach at Orange Beach, and we got pulled out by a riptide, and lifeguards had to rescue us.
Wow.
That all
I would
happened
love to
within
see a
the-
lifeguard rescuing you.
Yeah,
That
it
would
was-
be amazing.
He was adorable.
He was
What
Yeah,
else you
Justin,
guys?
what do you got? You got a good yikes moment?
Yeah, 2 that come into my head is like just a month ago we had a fist fight on a Wednesday night. That was super fun and caught it on camera and tried to determine who did what. Guess that was not good. But then the first one, like the biggest one, was I was an intern. I was a senior at APU. I was an intern at a church, and the junior high guy quit. And I was put in charge of summer camp, so I was in charge as a 22-year-old taking 50 junior hires to houseboats.
Yeah, you're ready for that.
And then one kid tried to like end his life at camp.
Oh, my.
And then I had to take care of that.
Wow.
And so that was really not fun, but
Yeah.
also really good learning experience
yikes.
There
for
you
me.
go. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, Doug, what about you? You got a yikes?
Yeah, many yikes, but one big yikes in Mexico with a bunch of kids. Get everybody in the van, get back to the camp that we were staying at in Mexico, and realized that we left one of the kids in a park in Mexico, and so I had to go back an hour and found them at the police station. So that was fun to explain that to parents. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This one, I don't even know if I've ever shared this before. I came back from a houseboat camp. We were really late, car troubles a little bit. I was probably 23 or 24 years old. And Dana Oliver's dad got really, really mad at me and was actually yelling at me. And for the first time in my life, I like made a fist like I'm gonna punch this guy. Yeah, like 'cause I think
What was it so mad about?
that we got home late, like 8 hours late.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And you couldn't text with
it
no
was
cell
before cell
phones.
phones, the whole bit.
Yeah.
You know. And
Why don't
so,
you just email him? That was before email.
yeah. And I just remember
Could you
making
send a telegraph
I remember
or-
making a fist like this guy. He's gonna push me or punch me, and I'm gonna have to defend myself.
Crazy.
Yeah.
For sake of time, why don't we skip me on this
All
one?
right.
Go to the next one.
He has lots of yikes.
Well, you can watch the More Than Dodgeball show where
It's
Doug and I
all the
talk
yikes.
about a lot of yikes, too.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
Have
Go.
you ever? How have you gotten
silly
your
promo there.
your student ministry? This is my podcast.
Hey, it's in our
built on
studio.
our
Have you ever gotten? How have you gotten students to actually care about the culture that you're trying to create in your group?
That's good. Justin, you
Yeah,
start.
for sure.
Yeah. One, I don't have a group anymore, and 2,
Ooh, too soon.
I know, too soon. I cope with humor. And so we.
Oh, was that funny?
That was funny.
Yeah, funny and like
That's-
a,
you could laugh. You
oh.
could laugh.
Yeah.
If you don't know, just
I care about you, but keep going.
Justin's
Yeah.
a free agent. Go.
It takes years. I know that. I think that once you develop that, it begins with your leaders first. They set the tone. If you want a culture of worship, make sure that your leaders are actually worshiping. And so what I would physically do is I would push, not like forcefully, but say, leaders, go into stay out of the back of the room, go to the front, get in the pit, rush the stage, show students how to worship. I think that's one. When it comes to students, it was part of our DNA of our church to be like have a one life and invite one person. So you should do it. I told stories about me doing it. I set the example. Our leaders
And one
would
life
share.
is where you have one person that you focus on evangelism
Yep.
through the course of the year, invite
Yep.
them to your program, stuff like that.
Yeah, and then have the events to back it up to where that they actually feel like they want to invite them to, that it's worth it. To say, man, I'm putting relational chips out there. It has to be worth it to invite them to.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever you want your culture to be, the key, what I would say, the biggest tip is you just have to repeat what you want your culture to be. So whatever it is, choose what you want it to be. You want it to be friendly. You want it to be evangelistic. You want it to be worshipful. Whatever you as a leadership team decide, you just have to repeat. Leadership is about repetition. It's repeating the same thing over and over. Just because you've been thinking about it, just because you've been praying about it, just because you've been studying, just because you've been interviewing other people about culture, just because you've given it more thought than anybody else doesn't mean anybody's going to care but you. And so for it to leak into the your infrastructure of youth ministry, you just have to repeat.
That's good.
That's good. You know, for sake of time, there's only 4 minutes left. Why don't we go to the next question?
All right, you're going to start the next one then. If you could write a 300-page book on any topic, what would it be?
Theology. Doug, go. Predestination. Go.
Not
Eschatology.
not a 30-word book.
Jesus is coming back soon.
Deep.
Doug, you've written about 50 books in youth ministry.
Yeah.
Is there one that you have yet to write, and do you want to spoil it here?
It said if I could write it on anything.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I've already written a bunch of youth ministry books. I've got a family ministry / marriage / parenting book in me left.
Another
That
opus.
maybe one more.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's fun. I think,
Or on bodybuilding. It's when, you know,
Clearly.
Clearly.
Jacked.
Yeah. He
Jacked.
is. Feel that? You probably heard
No,
that.
it's broken now.
it would probably be like one of like Josh's like first little ones, but it would be like kind of like what we just talked about, the culture, like how to set and how to train your leaders to set that
More
culture.
of a pamphlet than a book.
Yeah, just like a quick,
little hurtful.
Yeah.
You know, we're live. You can't take that
No,
back.
it's
Can't
good.
edit that out. That's
99
out
thoughts
there
for
now.
volunteers.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's co-author that and put it on DYM Publishings. Let's do it.
What do you got? What would you write on if you could write a book?
I think there's a lot of discouragement in student ministry. There's a lot of things that like are upsetting and difficult. And I think if I could write a book and I could put some time to it, I would probably write a book on something like how, when you go through these difficult times, it's worth it at the end. Like you're going to grow from it.
I'll be the first one to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Put your hand next to my hand.
It's a big paw right
Yeah, I feel like a little boy.
Hey, well, Doug, since we're getting really
Look at
close
that.
here, I want to ask you this last question.
You don't even make his fingernails.
So,
You don't even make it.
You know his hand's
Yeah.
big when
Yeah.
you're
I'm blessed. What would it?
Do you ever feel this back here on the back of Frank?
I
He
felt-
has like a little knot. It looks like a little roll,
I
but
felt-
it's a bone. There's a
This is
bone, like a
live, too.
skull.
I fell down a flight of stairs
There's
when I
got
was
like
like
a
3,
skull thing back.
and my skull got pushed around. It's the whole
Wait,
thing.
your Enneagram is what?
It's 3.
The
Actually.
3,
Yeah.
okay.
Hey, so a bunch of people asked me this question.
Okay, you got 2 minutes left.
What
Yeah,
would it
2 more.
take to shave my beard? And I've said this multiple times. I love my beard, but at the end of the day, now it's like a branding problem.
Yeah, everyone likes your beard.
Like it's my podcast logo. So Doug, I'm formally saying this in front of everyone on Facebook Live. I will shave my beard.
Can we
do
choose
it.
what the if is?
No, I get to say this. If it's live at Youth Specialties and National Youth Workers Convention, and I get to plug my podcast, I will shave my beard live on stage.
So if you're on the main stage,
Main
See, you just ruined it for me.
Oh,
No, no.
You just ruined it
we
for
can put
me.
him on us
I was
stage.
gonna say a stage.
No,
I got you.
main
I
stage.
got you.
Main stage
Minute 27
at,
seconds.
at
What do you
Youth
think?
Specialties, the National Youth Workers Convention
Yeah.
in Tampa.
In Tampa, November
My hometown,
21 through
my
24.
hometown.
Come on,
Shave
don't miss it.
on main stage.
To be determined.
And,
to be continued.
And what do you want to do? You want to plug your
Just
podcast?
say, hey, like and subscribe.
like and
Like and
that's
subscribe.
it.
There's no
50 minutes with
liking.
Frank.
Subscribe. Yeah, just subscribe.
My first response is probably
this,
not a
look at
chance,
this.
but if
at
you don't have to talk a lot and we could just shave it on stage like as a bit,
Yeah.
What if we shave it while he's giving the plug, and as long as he's
I'm fine with that.
I think there's a potential.
Now I'm terrified. All right,
Yeah,
I
guys.
think there's a potential.
Not what I was expecting
last,
Doug to
last
say.
night it was
It's a
no,
mistake.
but now
yeah, you're warming up to it.
Yeah,
warming up to it.
'cause
47 seconds.
hey,
Go.
Okay, so as a thank you, everybody who gave a question is going to receive a bunch of resources, and I put everyone's name in the Pick Me app. and
seconds.
I'm going to pick someone right now, and so we're gonna spin it.
Oh yeah, spin it.
Here we
so you
go.
can see their names up there.
There's
This is
all
awesome.
there's like
Upwards of 100 people have entered. Only one
just
can win.
South of 1,000.
Just
the winner. Oh yeah, they'll win an annual gold membership to
Wait,
DYM.
have you asked the owners of DYM
yeah,
yet?
thank you for your generous
Yeah,
donation.
I'm just stealing
Frank.
the studio. They're gonna get a bunch of, not just a gold membership, not just all the resources. They're also gonna get 2 books from my buddy John McKee, who Teen's Guide to Social Media and Guy's Guide to 4 Battles Every Young Man Must Face, and they're gonna get my brand new resource that comes out this weekend, next Monday, Youth Group Tonight. It's a talk
There you
show.
go. That's awesome.
I'm pretty sure only one person's gonna get that.
Only one person's getting that?
Yeah, only one person. The winner right now with the
Oh,
gold
wow.
membership.
Wow,
There you go.
this is a lot.
So the gold membership, downloads every month, store credit, shopping spree, go nuts, everything you need for your youth ministry. Download youth ministry gold membership.
But if they don't win a gold membership and they wanted a free trial, where do they go, Frank?
They should have gone to my link like 2 weeks ago. No,
But it's still available.
it's still available. Is there a
yeah,
link?
he'll send you the link.
I'll send you. Email me if you're watching this. You want to try a 30-day trial?
How'd you get these names? You can email them.
Yeah, email me. PastorTank@gmail.com. It's all good. All right, let's do this.
Pastor Tank.
It's the whole thing. I made it when I was 12. All right, here we go.
Shave
3,
that beard.
2.
You knew you were gonna be a pastor when you were 12.
Shelly Fry.
Shelly Fry. Hey,
Confetti.
thank you again. We made it to episode 100. Thank you,
Wow.
friends. for letting me
Congratulations,
be here.
Frank.
That's awesome.
It's a big
great.
deal.
When-
Little
when
over
did you-
15 minutes. But
What
it's fine.
did you? When did you start on the DYM network?
I started January 2018 is when the network started.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
So
he was there.
What
So
episode
what-
was
when
that?
the
What
first one-
episode was it?
It was like episode 40 something. I think it was like late 40s, early
You've
50s.
done good. It was a great year, and you
Wow.
have doubled your viewership too. You're
Yeah,
killing it.
we're at 4 now.
He's 4.
This
That's
is
great.
great.
He's killing it. His
This is
mom,
awesome.
sister, everybody's watching.
It's fun. Hey,
He doesn't have a sister.
Oh,
well, I want to end
If
this
you listen-
show.
I
I
listen.
missed
Yeah,
dinner. I
I'm
was
basically
eating.
going to
That
tell.
food
Okay.
was so good.
Hey, remind me what we're supposed to say. I've already
Okay,
forgotten.
okay. Every episode I end it with my saying bye buddies. So we're gonna get in nice and close and we're gonna whisper it pretty loud so they can hear us. Bye buddies.
Wait, you just said nice and quiet. I'm
It's a
super
loud
confused.
whisper.
What if
A
I
loud
say
whisper.
bloomin' onion instead?
Well,
Would that be okay?
It's your network. So on 3, 1.
Bye what?
Bye buddies.
Bye,
Oh,
buddies.
you
like,
just said it. Now we're on. They're already gone.
like
3.
BYE or BUY?
Bye, buddies. Like go make a purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See you later, buddies. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Bye, buddies.
Bye, bunnies.
Thanks.